guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I have a special friend with me, and we will be talking about Intermed. So, if you are going to apply for Intermed or if you want to know more about it, I hope that we will be able to help you with these questions. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you find it helpful.
Hey guys! So, I'm with one of my classmates and we met in LU3 when I was new in UPCM, and he's gonna talk with us about Intermed! So, he's one of my greatest friends, one of the kindest people I know, very humble,
Thanks.
very down to earth, and very, very helpful. And yes, he's gonna answer Intermed questions. So,
Hello, good evening,
hello!
everyone. Hello. Good
His
evening,
name's
Les.
Miguel.
Hi,
Hello.
I am Miguel.
So, Miguel, why don't you tell us something about yourself?
Hi, so I am Leslie's classmate. We're both in Learning Unit 4 or second year medical proper. I graduated from Ateneo High School in the year 2016, after which I joined the Intermed program for class 2023.
And then we met as
Yes, we
classmates.
did.
We were group mates in one of the SGBs.
One random biochem project, and then Les even forgot we were group mates. She forgot who I was, like twice.
Yes, I did. Anyway, that's a different story. Okay,
So I hope I can answer some questions you guys might have regarding Intermed.
are you ready?
Are you ready?
Yes, I am. Okay, so let's get to it, guys. What does intermed mean? Just in case, the viewer is young pa, he's not familiar with the term, what does it mean?
Okay, so the Intermed program, or the Integrated Liberal Arts and Medicine program, is a 7-year medical program from UP College of Medicine. So what it basically does is it shortens a normal medical school of 9 years into 7 years instead. So it's divided into 3 main parts. The first is 2 years of pre-med courses. We also call them learning units, or LUs. So LUs 1 and 2 are for pre-med. Next, you'll have 4 years of med proper, so that's LUs 3 to 6. And lastly, you'll have 1 year of clinical internship in LU7, after which you take the boards. There you go.
So it's like 2 years of college, basically LU1.
Yeah, it is. LU1 and 2. So instead of having a full college degree of 4 years or 5 years, you'll just have, it's compressed into just those 2 years. But of course, they can't exactly fit every single subject you're supposed to in those 2 years. So they have to cut out things that might not be as relevant in med school. But then, not to say that all of our subjects were just science related. We still have a lot of English or Filipino subjects and history, but a big chunk was also biology, chemistry, those kinds of subjects.
Since it's only like 2 years of LU1 to 2, so para siyang compressed college.
Yes.
At diba yung college 4 years. So do you feel like you learned a lot from just 2 years of basic sciences, pre-med, ganyan?
Like if it prepared me enough for med school?
Yeah.
That way. I think it did help with some parts, especially we had biology with, for example, vertebrate biology, and we were able to practice studying on the frogs, the cats, and the mussels. That helped for anatomy. But I have to say that there were a lot of things that I don't think I'd mastered yet after LU2. So it's true that in med, like the pre-med course you had can really give you some advantages. For example, when you're studying anatomy or when you have microbiology, we didn't have that. For example, for microbiology, we didn't really have that many subjects on it. So even now, I'm still trying to memorize, and I always have to keep reading about the new organisms we read up on in L3 and 4, right? So in the end, we had to search about the stuff we missed on our own.
When you entered, when you were just entering LU1 to 2, did you feel culture shock coming from Ateneo, which is like a private school, diba? Kasi diba UP is like a whole new different area.
Environment. And it's far. Before I started Intermed, I always lived with my family in Quezon City. But since Manila was too far away for me to go back and forth every day from my house to school, I had to start renting a condominium unit with some of my friends from high school. At the time, suddenly living without my family and only seeing them for every weekend was probably the greatest shock for me, because I had to get used to it fast. But I was also really lucky because a lot of my closest friends from high school, shout out to you guys, you know who you are, also joined the program in Intermed. So some things still felt the same.
At least that's nice, diba? Your barkada from high school, they're still your classmates now. At least you didn't feel alone, diba? Unlike me when I entered UPCM. Yeah, so it was a whole new world. And it was really very lonely. when you were in LU 1 to 2, was your
Mm.
classroom also like the Calderon Hall building, or was like a different
Ah.
classroom, like a different building?
Most of our classes would be in the CAS, the College of Arts and Sciences. We'd have most of them there, especially like our lab classes and our GE subjects. But then we would have some med-related subjects in, not in Calderon, but in Paz Mendoza, where we have some the SGDs and stuff. We'd usually have classes there. And we'd also have this mentoring thing every Wednesday, usually. So around 9 to 10 of us would be grouped alphabetically, and then we'd have 3 doctors assigned to us. And then they were like our IMED mentors for 2 years or 1.5 years. So I miss them. I miss our group.
How did you get into Intermed? What did you have to tick in the college app form when you were applying for UP?
Mm.
The UPCAT.
So yeah, UPCAT. So before taking the UPCAT, and when we had this online admissions form and for the application, there was it's just a box that says there, are you interested in an advanced or accelerated medical course? So I just ticked that. The top 50 men and top 50 women per batch will be ranked using university predicted grade, from what I know, and then those 100 people are interviewed in UP itself, UP Manila. From those 100, 40 applicants, so 20 boys and 20 girls, will then be admitted into the final program. But that's for LU1 and 2. Then, like you said earlier, when LU3 comes, we are joined by you guys, so around 140 other laterals, and we all make up the class of 2023, making history.
Ooh. This means na after the UPCAT, you had an interview pa. What do you remember? What do
Yes.
you recall from your interview? Kinabahan ka ba? Were you
Well,
worried?
yeah, especially before
Scared?
going in, the doctor who interviewed me was also from Ateneo High School. And so we had a lot to talk about aside from just the typical, why do you want to go to UP College of Medicine? Why do you want to join the Intermed program? I think if you want some more tips on the interviews, you can check out Leslie's channel for her first video. I think it has a lot of useful tips, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Please don't forget to subscribe.
So yeah, we talked about like why did I want to be a doctor? Why did I want UP College of Medicine in particular, and what my plans were for the future? Those kinds of questions.
So parang basic din naman. So when you got in Intermed na, how
Mhm.
hard was it? Yung LU 1 to 2? Kasi di ba LU 3 na ako pumasok. So I know how hard it is. But how
Yeah.
about LU 1 to 2? How
Mhm.
hard was it ba?
Back in LU1, I remember specifically that we had a lot more time on our hands. Like, I think classes would start at 10 a.m. But at the same time, it's hard to quantify. Yeah, 10 a.m. It's hard to quantify exactly how difficult Intermed was because, as with everything, the experience changes depending on the person. Like, one subject I might find difficult might be easy for someone else, right? Also, the curriculum apparently for Intermed was changed just last year. So the subjects I had to go through may not be the same compared to the newer batches of Intermed and whoever is planning to apply into it right now. It is true though that some subjects in Intermed took up more of our time and effort than others. But what we did instead was that we would ask for tips from upper batches who took the subjects already so that they could give, tips, they could give some advice on how to tackle those specific quizzes, those exams. And I think it worked out.
In general, was it hard since it's compressed, everything in 2 years?
Yeah, I think it was still difficult. It was still difficult. But I think like if you can ask for advice, you can learn to better pace yourself with how to handle your time, how to if you're going to study this subject before the next one. So it all depends on what you're taking up at the time.
I agree with you. It's really a good idea to ask the upper batch yung mga questions mo. Kasi ako, I always talk to my buddy pa din until
Yeah, me
now.
too.
Yeah,
Shout out to
shout
my
out
buddy
to my
Elaine.
buddy. Mine's Christian, who always answers all my questions. So, yeah, I met my buddy no LU3. Kayo, you met yours,
In
LU1.
LU1. And they're still the same
Mm.
buddies we have up until now.
So, when you were in LU3, you didn't need to have a new buddy. No, na kami lang.
We weren't part of that anymore because we already had. But since, when I became LU2, I was a buddy for someone new as well. It essentially forms a buddy line. So a lot of times you'll see different students from different batches all eating out together from LU1, sometimes even until LU7. Then they might just be a buddy line. line. So they all like some buddy lines meet up regularly, and then they sometimes eat in Robinsons, or they talk about how their years are going. So yeah, that's another thing that happens in UP College of Medicine.
Since, your LU 1 to 2 is compressed, I mean, like, it's parang your college na. 2 years lang.
Mhm.
So, may thesis ba kayo? Or, kasi kami meron sa
Yeah,
fourth
you guys had
year.
thesis
Yeah.
before. We actually didn't have any thesis. We just, I guess we just prepared ourselves for LU3 because, as you know as well, we start to have research papers for different subjects starting LU3. Although, not to say that in LUs 1 and 2, we didn't have to make papers. For different subjects, not just science-related subjects, we had to do a lot of papers and some researches, but nothing as extensive as a full-blown thesis.
Yung LU 1 to 2, you had subjects ba like theology also? Hindi lang science, there's also theology.
Yeah, not just
history.
science. We had no theology. We had history, Philippine history. We had the studies of works of Rizal. We also had some, like I said, philosophy class and even art subjects.
So, Miguel, intermed's like a pre-med subject.
Yes, it
Was
is.
it hectic? Or did you have time to have fun with your friends, to go out with your family pa, abroad, ganyan? May time pa ba for it? Or was it super hectic, stressful?
I wouldn't say that the whole time it was super hectic, but there were times, especially when a lot of subjects had their exams on the same day or the same week, where the hell weeks, hell days, where you really have to focus. In times like that, I'd really have to just focus on what I'm trying to do. But then, other than that, for example, right after I finish the last exam in a week, I'd really try to find time to do the stuff I like, hang out with my friends, even those who aren't in UP with me. And then I'd also try to spend as much time as I can with my family, which I did when I'd come back home on the weekends. There needs to be like a balance of studying and still doing the things you want, like the hobbies. And my classmates also do other stuff, like you can do org activities. They have their own things going on as well.
Well, actually, diba, until now, LU 3 to 4, we still make time for friends and families, diba? Mga
Up until now,
org.
especially now we have so much time, right?
This ECQ.
Mm-hmm.
Since you had your high school friends with you, do you have any, greatest memories, greatest experience?
I think
in Intermed?
it wasn't really just one experience. It was probably like a collection of them, because all of them would involve times our batch would bond together. Like sometimes our classmates would have birthday parties. They'd invite the whole class. We'd work as a batch in events like Taurin Pala or Medicine. And we'd have our yearly Christmas parties before, where we'd have a party in one of our classmates' houses. And those are really fun times. Personally, whenever times would get rough for me, sometimes because of ACADS or because of stress, I'd always rely on the friends and the people I've gotten close to, starting from when I was in LU1 in Intarmed. And I'm really, really grateful to them for that. I think, in my opinion, it's really the people and the friends you make that define your experience, not just in Intermed, but in anything you're doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, after 2 years of med school and after watching the hospital playlist, I really realized how fun med school life is.
Hospital
with
playlist.
friends!
Wow. If you want to check out that video, again, go to Leslie Vlog. Check out the video right before this or 2 videos before this.
Kasi when I entered med school, syempre ako lang, di ba? Wala akong barkada since I'm from a different school. Tapos when I met my friends, I guess like you, I guess that's why I'm so happy right now also in med school. Kahit mahirap siya, di ba? Super important talaga.
Yeah.
Hi, Abot, Cece, Arian, Fatima, hello. And to my sisters also. Thank you, Miguel. This was fun. This was fun. I knew new stuff about Intermed. Kasi when I remember when I was LU3, I was new. Parang you guys were all together talaga. No, you guys were really very united as a class. Parang all of you dikit-dikit yung table. It was really nice. In a class, how many are you guys? Like LU1 to 2?
When we enter LU1, you are divided into 2 different blocks. Most of the time, it would be 2 different blocks. It was mostly alphabetical, but then the first half of the class would be in CCOM, we'd call it, so for communication, because we'd have different language subjects. Meanwhile, my last name is a bit lower, so I had KCOM instead, so communication. So we had Filipino for our language subjects. But then it wasn't strictly alphabetical. I know we had some friends in KCOM who weren't on the second half of the alphabetically. So it would still kind of mix.
So there was CCOM and KCOM.
Yeah, fun
So
time.
if you are part of CCOM, do you switch to KCOM? one day or your
Nah,
CCOM
you're
forever?
really that's your block. So you stay there.
So CCOM is the English
Yes.
and the KCOM is the
Kegam was
Filipino.
Filipino.
What if you don't like to be in the KCOM because you want to be in the CCOM?
I think you are assigned that when you enter, so there's nothing you can do about it.
Ah,
But no regrets
ah.
here. My experience there was really fun.
So, okay, guys. So, those are the questions I have for Intermed. If you guys are wondering about anything else about the program, you can comment your questions below and maybe we can have Miguel here again to answer the questions.
I
So,
will try. Let's see what happens.
Miguel, you know naman, di ba, that I love
Yeah,
watching
you
talk
love your talk
shows.
shows, right?
So, one of my favorite parts is the fast talk. So, can we do
Wow.
fast talk?
Lucky
Can we?
me.
Okay,
Sure.
guys. He doesn't know that we're gonna do fast talk. Kala lang niya I'm just gonna
Yeah.
ask him some questions. Are you
Let's
ready?
go. Yes, let's
I'm so
go.
excited. Okay. Black or white?
White.
Mabango or maputi?
Mabango.
Malaki or maliit?
Maliit.
Flowers or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Photo or video?
Video.
Cotton or silk?
Silk.
Superpower you wished you had?
I wish I could fly ever since I was a kid.
Kapag wala kang trabaho, anong oras ka nagigising?
Parang ngayon, mga 10 a.m.
Oh, aga naman, 10. Ako, 3. Are you more protective as a kuya or as a boyfriend?
Maybe both.
Kailan ka huling kinilig?
They.
Okay, so that's it for Fast Talk. Thanks, Miguel, for giving us
Yeah,
your time
thank
to answer
you.
these questions.
Hope I was able to help. Don't forget to subscribe to Leslie Vlogs.
Okay, guys, that's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want us to do other videos like this one, please let me know in the comment box below. And please don't forget to share this video, to like this video, and yes, please subscribe to my channel and see you in my next vlog. Bye, guys!